We're the Indie Project, Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn it into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cat, Ginjey Bear. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home.
Good morning, it's such a lovely day here in Portugal. It's lovely and sunny, it's actually quite warm. I am slightly sweating, but it's a really exciting day because I'm going to show you what Theo's been up to the last 2 days and also just basically walk you through what we're going through at the moment with the barn conversion. There's a lot going on, a lot of learning, but it's a lot of fun. You've got to check out the work that Theo has been doing over the last few days. I'm not going to lie, I'm being brutally honest right now. You've done a cracking job. I'm not usually one to boost your ego, but seriously, for someone who's never done stonework, just look at that. All of that was just a big gaping hole. The gables had to be filled up, basically like what you can see on the other side there, but way bigger because the roof is at more of a pitch. And he's just done a stellar job. Seriously, Theo, you should be so proud.
Thank you.
And we started on this gable, I say we, Theo's done all the building. He started on this gable as like a practice one because this is the side of the barn that you don't really usually see. It's more the other side that I'll show you that he's going to be moving on to next. So let's have a look. So as I was saying, this is the side of the barn that you generally see. It's the side that you come past when you're driving, when you're walking up to the barn. And the gables here need to be perfect. So the old builder had started building up here. Theo's going to continue, and then we need to work on the other side. And we've got some things we need to do with the tiles on that side. Some finishing tiles need to go on there, but for now, we're just focusing on the stonework.
I've got a nice bucket of lime ready to go.
Hang on, wait, you need to talk about your socks first because they're front and centre.
Yeah, so basically my socks, my mum sent us a care package out with loads of food and also these
Get
socks.
it in the sunlight. Oh my gosh, from this angle it literally looks like a chicken. So, okay, that's an introduction to the socks that I literally am in love with.
So as I was mentioning before the chicken foot saga, I've got a nice bucket of lime mixed up. The three main tools that I'm using to do this building work, this stonework with are, I've got a hammer. This is really useful for just knocking the stones and getting them into position. And then I've got my square trowel and I've also got a pointing key. The pointing keys come in different sizes. This is quite a thick one. And what it does is you can literally just offer up your trowel like that and you can push the mortar off the trowel into position, and also for smoothing out around all of the stones and getting that really nice finish. After that, I go over with a paintbrush with a bit of water and just smooth out the mortar, and it turns out really nice. I've actually shocked myself on how nice this is turning out, so it's given me a lot of confidence. And hopefully today I'm going to go from here all the way up to the top of the gable. It's quite a stretch, but I definitely think I can do it.
I think you can do it.
It's not just the front stones that you see. there's a lot of backfilling that needs to be done as well, so that also takes time, and you need to make sure that the backfilling stones aren't too big so you've got room for your other nice fascia stones to stick out.
Whilst Theo's up on the scaffolding, I'm down on ground level hunting for stones that are suitable. I'll show you the criteria that he has. There's like 2 different types of stone that we use. So we've got the cruddy stone that is still totally good stone but just doesn't look pretty, which goes behind the nice front facing stone. So the pile behind me here, this is a massive delivery of stone that we had last week with loads of different sizes. There's some real big boulders, but there's also some really small ones, medium ones. So I've just been hunting through to find the different sizes. So I'm going to show you some of the ones that I've got that I will take to him, and he'll tell me whether I've done a good job or I need to go back and get some more. So here we have a big pile of stones, and there's a lot of different types. There's some that you can see have got kind of ridges where they've been cut into, and then we've got ones here that are lovely in natural shape, but it's got no face, as you'd say. So that isn't suitable. This one here is also unsuitable. Now, this one is a really nice small stone that would be really good to fit in between other stones. So that's a good one, that's going in the bucket. And I've just got to basically sift through, find ones that are suitable. This one, at first glance, looks like it could be suitable. I also do a little test, let me see, like I'll do a smack test to see if it's strong. Seems not too bad, but I'm not totally happy with that. All of that is dirt, which actually has loads of stones underneath as well, so I have been sifting through it, and I've just got a lot of stones to choose from.
Bee has just been shopping around the land for the stone that is hopefully going to be the sword in the stone. Hopefully this one fits perfectly, because it's a really nice flat area, which means you can get a bigger stone in there. It's quite nice when you can fit bigger stones in. It moves the process on a little bit nicer, and then you can put little stones all the way around. And it's useful having Bee on the ground finding the stones, because going up and down the ladder every time to find a stone, I'd be here forever. But here, moment of truth. Ready?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I reckon that'll fit. Yeah, I reckon it will.
Literally like a glove. That's nice. So now I just put a bed of lime down here, and that will sit up a little bit, and that's really nice. And then I can layer it up on top. I completely forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about the tools that I use, the most important tool probably is this spirit level, because it makes sure that I keep the wall going up nice and straight. You don't want to go up at the top and then turn off like a skate ramp or something. So also when you're looking at stones, all the faces have got like you know, they're organic, they're not completely flat, so
they're not like bricks basically.
Exactly, they're not bricks. So even with bricks you'd want to do this, but when you're eyeballing it, sometimes your eye lies to you and you're like, oh, that looks good, and then you put the spirit level and you're like, actually no. So I've just put this in place roughly, and then if I put the spirit level up here, I can see that it's sticking out a little bit too far, so I just need to pop the stone back a couple of mil, then we're good to go. I can start packing this in, put a little stone in here, and then keep building.
It's really lovely to actually see Theo being able to express his creativity through the stonework, and that leads me on to today's sponsor. I'd like to say a big thank you to Squarespace, who have sponsored today's video, and they are a fantastic online platform where you can build and create your own websites, and it's a fantastic place for us to be able to share our creativity online. You don't have to have any experience at all with building websites, and that's one of the reasons why I really do love using Squarespace. They have so many different templates to use, and you can drag and drop different things on there that work for you. If you want to try out Squarespace, we've got a link in our description, or just head to squarespace.com/indieprojects for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain and a 14-day free trial. It's a really great place to be able to share your creativity and anything else that you want to make into your own personal website. Just check out the size of the chickens. They've all just ran away behind the enclosure, but they're all pretty much close to fully grown now, aren't you? Look at you, Betty. You're an absolute beast. If you're new to our videos or you haven't seen them, we do have 4 chickens who I'm sitting in their enclosure right now. This is their coop behind me, and they have definitely outgrown it. We got these chickens when they were about 8 weeks old. There was 4 of them. There was a bit of a sad story at the beginning. Unfortunately, 2 of them did get killed by a fox. And the 2 that survived have grown up to become extraordinarily beautiful but gigantic cockerels. There's probably going to be a really sad story in the future where we're going to have to rehome one of them, because I doubt we're going to be able to keep 2 cockerels and 2 hens together. But that means that the enclosure, the coop, is way too small for them. So we're going to make a brand new one. So right here is their current coop. I've got Fernando in for size, and also because he was trying to chase the chickens. So it's basically a fantastic playpen for him. And this is my incredibly professional looking sketch. We're going to build them their own A-frame cabin, basically. It's really rough sketch. I did this last night, but it's what I've got in my mind, and I think it'll be way better than that. It'll give them room to roost, room to move around, because they're very big. So now I need to just measure, figure out how much wood we're going to need. I think I'm going to go off the old measurements for that and just expand it.
Do you not like being in there? Have you learnt not to chase my chickens? No? Couple more minutes then. Are you curious about the camera, Betty? Betty the cockerel.
We've got about an hour of sunlight left, and I'm going to check on Theo and see how he's getting on, because I've not actually seen him all day. Oh my gosh!
Seriously, you have done such an amazing job. I'm not lying. You just keep blowing me away with this amazing stonework, man.
Thank you. So the good news is I've got to the top of the wall, but it starts to get a little bit more technical now, because right here, this is the ridge beam that holds the whole roof up, and you want a nice big air pocket. You can see here there's a nice big gap from the stone wall to the ridge beam, and that is so the air can circulate around it, but also so no moisture hits this stone and transfers into the ridge. So I've got to keep that going, so I'm essentially going to have to build a little bridge over the ridge so that I can build up to the top of the gable end. Oh, I've just put my hoodie on because it suddenly feels really cold. The weather and the seasons have definitely changed now. You can really feel it. As soon as the sun goes down, it is bitter. But in the day, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, so that is why we love it in Portugal in the winter. But I'm gonna save this for another day to build the bridge over the ridge. Nice rhyme there. Because, as I said, it's a little bit technical. It's going to take me a little bit of time to find the correct stones to use to make sure it's all nice and secure. But one thing I'm going to do right now is just cut a bit of Tyvek and put it over the ridge beam so it is protected from any moisture. keep going. Keep going. Stop.
About here. Right, so you just saw us moving all of the scaffolding around to the other side of the barn because Theo's finished the stonework above me. I'm going to move over there in a second and show you a wide of the work he's done because he's done such a great job. I think that's probably got to be the faffiest thing, is having to move the scaffolding around, and now we've got the ditches. It's a bit tricky with the feet, making sure it's all level, but it's not going to be like that forever. But I'm going to show you the work he's done because it's really, really great. So now you can clearly see the finished side and the unfinished side and how it looks, and Theo's basically just done all up here over the last 3 days and done a really great job, which is good because if he wasn't very good we'd be having to live with some really hideous stonework, but thankfully he's done a fab job. It's lovely to look at. Before we do that side, we need to finish the tiling because this is the awkward bit of the barn where it kind of goes at an angle, so we're going to have to cut the tiles there. But for now, that looks so good. And now he's working on the front. So the front here is kind of a similar story. He's building up to there, and here, before we can finish it and really stone it in, we've got to get end pieces to round off the edge just for a finishing touch so it looks nice. So we're going to have to go and find some of those before we can continue it. But he's doing a really good job. I'm very proud of him. I thought I'd just sit in the caravan for a minute and talk about the cat situation because we do get a lot of comments from people asking how Ginjey Bear and Fernando Bear are getting on. And at the moment they're both vying for top cat, and that's because Ginjey is obviously the top cat because she was here first. She's older, she's a queen, but Fernando is a young boy. He has his nudges still. He wants to have his own territory. He wants to be the king. He wants to be top cat. So that's creating a little bit of a power struggle at the moment. Ginjey is a submissive cat, so she's not really giving him the full fight to really deter him, which I think is why he's still trying. So I've ordered some Feliway friends because it's not that bad. Like right now we're all in the caravan together. He's eating, she's sitting behind me. But occasionally they do get very angry with each other. He tries to fight her. He goes in sneaky when she's sleeping, which is a bit harsh. So I'm hoping that that pheromone treatment might chill them out, might help them calm down. Fernando is going to get neutered because that might help as well. But the possibility is, if they don't end up basically finding a way to live together comfortably, if they keep having these scraps, we're going to have to find somewhere for him to go. And we do actually have a couple of contenders if that does happen. But me and Theo are very attached to him. I'm sure you remember when we found him, we said he was going to be a foster. Let's be realistic. He caught our hearts the moment we found him in the road. So we really want them to get on. But you can't force these things. If they don't get on, they don't get on. So we're just going to see what happens. We're going to have the Feliway friends. He's going to get neutered. We're currently all living in the caravan together because there's more space than in the van, more floor space than in the van. And we're just going to see what happens. So for now, fingers are still crossed. They're not at each other's throats all the time. They both get a lot of love from us. And yeah, we're hoping that it is going to just continue, that they eventually become best friends, because that would really just be the absolute perfect outcome.
Hello. Where have you been? Sleeping in a bush?
Just like a massive mosaic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know what it is? It's a game of Tetris.
Exactly.
Slotting
I'm
them.
rubbish at that, so you should be probably doing that.
Yeah, I would actually. You know what? I think I will be good.
Oh, you want to swap?
No.
I really want to get one of them belts so I can put all my tools in it and look super macho like Eamon. You know what I mean? Eamon's all strapped up with all his tools. I want one. Fernando.
Well, Theo got the stonework done that he needed to do just in time because it's actually raining today. You can see behind me it's not sunny. It's white clouds and heavy rain that's coming in at all angles, but I'm under the veranda and it's lovely and dry, which is very nice, and it's always good to be able to be outside and staying dry at the same time. It's also perfect timing, this rain, because it means we can edit this video that I'm filming right now on a rainy day, so it's perfect. If I haven't already said it, thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss our next upload. Thank you so much for watching, we really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.